this week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Tri, the semifinals are underway. Team Tri-Fighters is going to do battle with a massive dragon serpentine mobile armor, the Dagorla. I'm not too familiar with the Dagorla because it's from V Gundam or Victory Gundam, and that's a series that I still haven't seen in full. And there's a small possibility that we'll actually have that released on DVD in the States in 2015 thanks to the good folks at Right Stuff. And I really hope that happens because the Dagorla is awesome. It might honestly be my favorite mobile armor, just the overall design of it. How the top half is more like a human, and then the lower half is like a big long dragon or snake. It has multiple arms with these orbs, which fire lasers, and it has a lot of really impressive scenes, like when it takes out this massive tank mobile suit, the Super Zamel at the very beginning, and then finally when Team Tri-Fighters fights against the Dagorla, it's actually kind of just a destruction fest. Team Tri-Fighters just picks it apart. But still, despite that, it's a really flashy battle, but it's just an appetizer for this week's main story, which involves Gyanko and her team doing battle with Team G-Master. Team G-Master has been built up in a number of ways. Not only are they the previous champions, but they have Special Gunpla, which have been made by Minato Sakai, who has an incredibly funny scene at the beginning of the episode where he thinks he wins this big tournament, and there are cameos from so many different ladies from the Gundam universe. One of my favorite ones I saw was Nina Purpleton from Gundam 0083, the Top Gun of the Gundam anime series. G-Master also happens to have a brand new member on the team by the name of Akira Suga, who essentially is like the brand new version of Sleggar Law from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. He's even referred to as Sleggar at the end of the episode by Alan Adams, who is actually returning for the second season. He was the guy who was working with Tatsuya Yuki in the first season. But before we get to that, let's talk about that battle. So, at the beginning of the episode, Gyanko is freaked out over the prospect that she's going to have to do battle with the previous champions, and she puts on this whole, like, little pity party for Sekai, and she basically sort of tries to trick him into saying that if she wins, she'll actually go on a date with him, and completely this backfires. You know, the minute I saw last week's episode's preview where it was going to be Gyanko going up against his team, there was no doubt they were going to lose. I just didn't see the team going that farther in, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Gyanko really does carry the team. Her teammates really aren't all that special, even though I still love the fact that they're using a lot of G Gundam mobile suits like the Rising and Nobel Gundam. But despite that, Team G-Master just runs all over them, especially their leader, who is using the Mega Shiki, which just... I love that mobile suit. It's like a variant on the Hyaku Shiki from, I believe, Zeta Gundam, which I think it was gold in that, but now it's been repainted blue, and it has this big mega particle laser on its back, and it also has these really awesome beam sabers, which are yellow and kind of have the outline of a katana, which are so powerful they can actually cut through Gyanko's shields. The teammates are taken out pretty quickly. In particular, I love the way Suga does it with his G-Fighter, which is really interesting how it works, and they're also trying to build up the fact that he might have some sort of connection to Sekai, and that's because he can use martial arts despite the fact that he's using a G-Fighter. And what he does is he attacks the Gundam, and then he grabs it with these hands which come out from underneath, and then he does this martial arts technique, and then runs over it with these massive tank treads. It's really freaking slick, and it's a really impressive battle, and they take it so seriously at the end. When Gyanko gets defeated, it literally looks like she dies. Sekai literally, like, reacts really strongly, screaming into the sky. Like, it's so over the top, but at the same time, that's kind of what I really like about this. You know, they have a lot of fun with this show. So I really like this episode a lot. Make sure and stay tuned for that post-credit scene. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Tri? Another really great episode. A little slow in the first half, but I really liked the build-up, and I actually did like the comedy. This is one of the few shows where the comedy doesn't really, like, turn me off that much, and Gyanko herself is just a very animated and funny character, and when they had that confrontation at that burger place, which had a hilarious name, Many Burgers! We have many burgers! The other members, I think her name was Yomi from G-Master, comes in, and they have this really tense confrontation, and I love when they're battling each other, how they're basically, like, constantly, like, fighting for control of the word bubbles, how their faces keep pushing into each other. Just very funny stuff right there. I really liked that. And Gyanko herself, you know, she's going to be a great side character for the rest of the series. I don't think she's going to disappear anytime soon. And they're also still sort of trying to, like, plant the seeds between the relationship between Fumina and Sekai, because she's literally waiting outside of her house for Sekai to come back just to ask her what was going on with Gyanko. And it comes off as a little strong, but still, I can't wait to see a little bit more of the development from that team. This was definitely not a Team Tri-Fighters episode. This was more of a Gyanko-based episode, and getting to see a lot of the new characters. And Team G-Master really is awesome. I still think it's kind of funny how they basically kicked their one team member to the curb, who he's still watching and everything. He's really excited, but it just, you know, it sucks, man. He was literally about to be there at the tournament, and he gets replaced by this one guy who has a connection to Alan Adams and this other guy who apparently is his nephew. I can't wait to see what that's going to do for this story, because in the first season, they added in the whole, like, mystery of the Plavsky particles and everything. I can't wait to see what other brand new story they're going to put in this one. But I'm excited. I'm really enjoying it. So overall, this was just another really fantastic episode of the series. Good animation, good artwork, and lots of really great battles. I especially loved the settings of the battles this week, especially in the big rainy city. It just looked really awesome. And then that final battle at the end where we finally got to see G-Master in action did not disappoint. It was great. So check it out, guys. A lot of really fun action, little bits of comedy, and we're finally getting ready to go into the finals of this Gundam tournament. I can't wait to see it. So, good episode. I have almost no complaints with it. I will say that it was a little slow in the first half, so I am going to drop a 4 out of 5 on this one. But definitely check this one out. It's a lot of fun. If you've been following the series, you must watch it. It's mandatory viewing. And if you're just deciding to get onto the Gundam Build Fighters Tri bandwagon, jump on now, because this series is too fun to miss, especially if you're a fan of the Gundam anime series. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And before you leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Tri. Did you have a favorite battle this week? What do you want to see in the final battle between Team Tri-Fighters and G-Master? And remember, guys, if you want to subscribe to our channel, you can do that by clicking on the channel icon right up here. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.